Hey everyone, and welcome. So you've invested in LiFePO4 batteries, which is awesome. They're powerful, super efficient, and built to last. But here's the deal. To get all that goodness out of them, you've got to charge them correctly. In this explainer, we're going to walk through exactly how to program your MPPT solar charge controller to protect that investment and really get the best performance and lifespan out of your system. Let's dive in.
So, let me ask you something right off the bat. Is it possible that your charge controller, right now, is silently harming your expensive battery? It's a serious question, because getting the settings wrong doesn't just mean you're being inefficient. It can actually cause permanent, irreversible damage.
You know, it's so tempting to just scroll to the lithium or a LiFePO4 preset on your controller and just call it a day. But think about it. That's a one-size-fits-all approach for a system that really needs a custom-tailored suit. A custom profile, which is what we're going to build today, makes sure you're not just charging your battery, you're actually looking after it, maximizing its lifespan and safety. All right, let's get right to the heart of the problem. That convenient little preset might feel like the safe choice, but it's hiding a few risks that are really important to understand. See, here's the thing. That generic profile has no clue if you've got a 50 amp hour battery or a giant 400 amp hour bank. It doesn't know your battery's specific speed limit for charging, the C rate, and it definitely doesn't know if you're operating in the scorching desert heat or in near freezing cold. All of those things dramatically change how a LiFePO4 battery needs to be charged. So before we can even think about programming the controller, we've got to understand the why. These aren't just random numbers we're pulling out of a hat. They are the golden rules for this very unique battery chemistry. And trust me, once you get these, everything else just clicks into place. Okay, first up, C rate. The easiest way to think about this is as the speed limit for charging your battery. It's the maximum current your battery can safely handle. So, for a 100 amp hour battery with a 0.5 C rating, that speed limit is 50 amps. Trying to push more current than that is like redlining your car's engine. It just creates stress, heat, and, you guessed it, long-term damage. Next, we've got the bulk stage. This is the heavy lifting phase. Your MPPT controller is going to send as much current as it safely can, right up to that C-rate speed limit we just talked about, and it'll keep doing that until the battery's voltage climbs to a specific target. For LiFePO4, that's usually around 3.5 volts per cell. Now, as soon as that bulk voltage target is hit, the controller switches over to the absorption stage. Here, it does something different. It holds the voltage perfectly steady and lets the current naturally drop off as the battery gets full. This is that crucial topping off phase that makes sure every single cell is perfectly charged and balanced. And listen, this isn't about tiny little optimizations. This is a direct warning. If you get these parameters wrong, you risk permanently, and I mean permanently, damaging your battery. The chemistry is really precise, and it demands that same precision from your charge controller. Okay, enough with the theory, right? Let's turn all that knowledge into practical, actual numbers that you can plug into your system. And I promise, it's way simpler than you might think.
It all boils down to a simple three-step process. First, we need to grab your battery's spec sheet. Second, we'll calculate that super important maximum charge current. And third, we'll figure out the right voltage set points for both the bulk and absorption stages.
So here's our first formula, and don't worry, it's easy. To find your maximum charge current in amps, you just multiply your battery's capacity in amp hours by its recommended C rate. You'll find that C rate number right on the manufacturer's datasheet. Let's use a real-world example. Say you've got a pretty common 100 amp hour battery, and the spec sheet says it has a recommended charge rate of 0.5 C. Well, you just multiply 100 by 0.5, and you get 50 amps. That's it. That is the absolute maximum charge current you should ever set. And the voltage calculation? It's just as straightforward. All you do is take the target voltage for a single cell and multiply it by how many cells are in your battery. For a standard 12-volt LiFePO4 battery, that's almost always 4 cells wired up in series. Okay, so this is where it all comes together. Let's look at that same 100 amp hour 12-volt battery. Our max current is 50 amps. Our bulk and absorption voltages are both 14.0 volts, and float voltage, well, it isn't really necessary for LiFePO4, but if your controller makes you set it, somewhere around 13.6 volts is a safe bet. This is basically your cheat sheet. All right, we've got our numbers. Now for the fun part. Let's go tell your charge controller exactly what it needs to do. Now, every controller's menu is going to look a little bit different, but the process is basically the same. You're going to find the battery settings, but instead of picking a preset like gel or AGM, you're going to look for something that says user-defined or custom. Then you just punch in the values we just figured out, your bulk voltage, your absorption voltage, and that critical max charge current. Okay, we are so close. But before you pat yourself on the back and walk away, there is one last part of this process, and it is absolutely non-negotiable. We have to talk about safety.
First, look at your wires. Are they thick enough to handle the 50 amps of current we calculated? Because if they're not, that's a fire hazard. Second, you have to have a fuse or a breaker rated for that current, and it needs to be installed as close as possible to the battery's positive terminal. And finally, be really careful in cold weather. Trying to charge a near-freezing LiFePO4 battery can cause a sudden and dangerous voltage spike.
I really can't stress this enough. Overvoltage is the #1 killer of LiFePO4 cells. It only takes one single event where the voltage shoots too high to cause permanent, catastrophic damage to your battery. And this is exactly why our custom settings and our safety checks are so incredibly important.
So what's the payoff for taking, 15 minutes to do this the right way? Well, it's huge. You get a much longer lifespan from your battery, you get more efficient charging from your solar panels, you get a system that's safer and way more reliable, and you get the peace of mind that comes from knowing you've done it right. And that's really all there is to it. So I'll just leave you with this final thought. Now that you know the rules and the reasons behind them, go take a fresh look at your own controller. Is your system truly optimized for the long haul? Or is there maybe a little bit of tuning left to do? Thanks so much for watching.